Today we are going to do a practice to help accept the feelings of anxiety that arise in our lives. Find yourself in a comfortable, seated position, and close your eyes if you are comfortable doing so. Otherwise, just keep them open and rest them on a spot in front of you. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor, of your body on your seat. Now move your attention to the breath, noticing it go in and out, and in and out, without changing it in any way. Just continue to follow your breath. Notice as your mind tries to hook you with thoughts. If there is a thought, just acknowledge it and gently return your attention to the breath. Now acknowledge any feelings that are coming up for you. Notice if there are feelings of anxiety or nervousness. Without getting hooked by these feelings, just acknowledge they are there. Move your attention to a worry thought or situation or sensation that has been difficult for you. Notice if you feel any discomfort and name that feeling for yourself. Stay with the worry, noticing where it is in your body. Just let the feeling be there without trying to change it. Your mind might be trying to hook you, so just acknowledge what is happening. And direct your breath into the area of your body that you feel the anxiety. Just noticing the feeling, breathing into it, making some room for it, and allowing it to be there. And notice that you might be trying to resist or avoid or distract from your experience. Expand around the feeling of anxiety, giving it some room to be there. Notice what it feels like to stop struggling and instead just allow it. And give yourself some loving kindness as you allow the feeling of anxiety to stay. Say to yourself, "May I live with ease." Continue to notice any thoughts that come to mind. Notice if you have thoughts about your thoughts. Notice that these thoughts are just thoughts, and these feelings are just feelings, and these sensations are just sensations. Now slowly come back to your breath. Notice it go in and out, and in and out. Now listen for 3 things you can hear. Open your eyes and notice 5 things you can see. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor. And take a stretch. So why should we learn to accept feelings like anxiety? Nobody likes anxiety. It's very uncomfortable for most of us, and yet we all experience it on a fairly regular basis. Whether or not we have an anxiety disorder, anxiety comes up in our lives from time to time because of stress, because of life, because of a million different reasons. And so because we can never actually get rid of feeling anxiety, at least not forever, we need to be able to learn to just live with it and manage it as it comes along. And there are many ways to do this, and there are many ways on this channel to do this as well. And this practice is just one of them. So I do want you to remember why it would be important for you, how it connects to your values, what is giving into the feeling of anxiety or struggling with it, preventing you from doing in your life that is important to you. So take a moment to reflect on that. Hopefully you reflected on it before you did the practice as well, so that you had a reason kind of for wanting to do this particular practice. Though with meditation, of course, we want to be open to all experience, and sometimes things don't change exactly the way we expect them to, and that's also okay. When it comes to anxiety, you know, it's part of the primitive part of our brain, right? So it's the part that when we were cavemen and cavewomen, that protected us, because that fight or flight response was important. If we were in danger, we had to either fight or run, or we would be eaten by a predator. And so that part of our brain has actually not really evolved. It's so primitive. And yet we've got modern life and all these other things around us that actually, for the most part, aren't that threatening, at least not on our lives. But that part of our brain still perceives them as threatening our life, which is why we get into these anxiety responses in the first place. So I hope that helps you understand a bit about anxiety. And of course, you know, doing these types of practices will help you be better able to manage it as it does come up in your life. So I do want to take a moment to reflect. So what did you notice about your thoughts and feelings as you did this practice? What are you noticing about them now that the practice is over? And what do you notice about your noticing? And if you do a lot of these practices, have you noticed that your noticing has changed or maybe improved, that you're able to notice things you weren't able to notice before? All right, everybody, take care and keep making the most of it.